Hello, and welcome to Red and White Blue Talks with Camille Claiborne. And today we're going to be talking about Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker. So media outlets have been ablaze. They have been buzzing over allegations that he paid for a former girlfriend's abortion. And at this point, I don't even know that they're allegations. This seems to be true, right? So Herschel Walker, being pro-life and pro-family, right? That's the description that is on his campaign website. So this is once again a time where he is engaging in contradictory and quoting a lie. This is the second, third, fourth time. All right, so if we backtrack a little bit, Herschel Walker is currently running for Georgia State Senate, and he is running against Raphael Warnock. Republicans are eager to get him elected as they want to win back the Senate majority. So when the claims initially came out, he vehemently denied these claims, calling them a flat-out lie. Of course, it always comes back to Democrats, saying that it was something that was put out by Democrats and that it was a lie. He even threatened to sue the Daily Beast, the publication that broke this story.
2009, that you paid for an abortion. First question, do you know the woman that is making this allegation?
I have no idea, but it is a flat-out lie. And now you know how important this seat is. This seat is very important, that they'll do anything to win this seat, lie, because they want to make it by everything else except what the true problems that we have in this country is. This inflation, the border wide open, crime. They don't want to talk about that, so they're making up lies now.
And time again, Herschel Walker has definitely proven to be a liar, right? When he lied to y'all, when he told y'all he was a graduate of the University of Georgia, that he graduated in the top 1%. And I just want to say that I knew that part was a lie. I knew he didn't graduate in the top 1%. That's just my spidey genius there. So we know that he's a liar, but I feel like he felt more comfortable lying in this situation because when the article broke, the woman was anonymous. She just was an anonymous woman. And later on, she reveals that she is the mother of one of his 4 children, that his campaign does acknowledge he has 4 children. She's the mother of one of them. And then she also shared the get well card that he sent her. Christian Walker has confirmed that the signature on the card belongs to Herschel Walker, which may be why he didn't file the lawsuit against the Daily Beast. So at the onset of his campaign, Herschel Walker was campaigning with his son, Christian Walker. So Christian Walker is one of Herschel Walker's 4 children, but he is the one that is sort of publicly claimed and acknowledged. Christian is I think the only child that we know their name. So he was out with his father campaigning, and they were visiting different media outlets, and they were condemning Black men for being absentee fathers. He was on, so he was telling Black men not to be absentee fathers, and he was condemning them.
For those fatherless child, meaning let's try to direct them in the right way.
Yeah.
So we ain't got to do good. We ain't got to do
Well, can I just say this here? Okay, so you done raised your child. Now you got to go and try to be a father to somebody else. What about teaching our Black men that if you lay down with a woman and you make a baby, it is your responsibility to stay there to make sure that child is raised?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Give them good values that you have. That you say, you know what? And I said this to someone. I said, if you have a child with a woman, even if you have to leave that woman, you don't leave the child.
Right.
You let that child know. You try to work it out. You're going to be respectful to her. And you're going to be respectful to other things.
That it later comes out that he himself is an absentee father. After you're condemning others, right? And you're condemning other Black men, here you are being an absentee father to your children. So his son, Christian, which is really the only child that he claims publicly, right? So Christian is the one that was out on a tour with him, campaigning with him. Christian is a product of his first marriage. Christian later reveals that Herschel Walker hasn't been an active parent in his life.
Came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And you know my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time, because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values? I was silent, lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever.
Then the anonymous former girlfriend, baby mama, said that Herschel Walker isn't a father to her child. So you can't be out here giving advice to others, telling people how to live, condemning, judging other people when you're not living that lifestyle yourself. You can't give advice that you aren't taking yourself. That's crazy. So Herschel Walker, who is pro-life and pro-family, has 4 children by 4 different women. So how many of those women was he married to? I think 1, maybe 2, right? How is that conducive to you being pro-family? When you're not married, you're having children all over the place, right? This is what you are condemning other people for, and you're doing it yourself, just privately. How is that conducive to you being pro-family and pro-life? How? Now, one of his 4 baby mamas has come forward saying back in 2009 that candidate Herschel Walker paid for her to get an abortion. To wonder, in the entire state of Georgia, were there no other qualified Republican candidates to run for this position? I mean, think about it. Why choose Herschel Walker? He doesn't have a strong academic background. He doesn't have any political experience. He isn't the most articulate person. I just have to wonder, why would they choose to nominate him to run on the Republican ticket? I wonder, is it because he's a Heisman Trophy winner, a former NFL player, and they thought that maybe if they had this black face with this athletic background, that might entice black voters to come out and vote for him, despite his political affiliations? You wonder, because it just seems like this is the best that you have to offer. You know, I feel like we see this repeatedly among Republicans, especially Black Republican conservatives. If you look at any Republican convention, right, you just pick the year. There's always a Black candidate who has to grace the stage, and they have a rags to rich adverse childhood life. It's like, does the Republican Party not have any middle class to rich African American members? I mean, certainly we don't all live in this environment or come from this environment, right? Why are those the only stories that are told from Black Republicans repeatedly, right? It's almost like this sort of buffoonery where they have to come and they have to be silly, and you know, their words are mumbled, they're not as articulate, and then they have to condemn other Black people or aspects of Black life. Right? Black people are diverse. We all look different. We all have different, backgrounds, but you never see that diversity displayed among Republicans. I see a candidate like Raphael Warnock, right? A graduate of Morehouse, a Baptist minister. And y'all know, when I say a Baptist minister, right, they typically always have the gift of oration, right? They are great orators, okay? You see someone like that who's currently the minister of Ebenezer Baptist Church, the church that was once ministered by Martin Luther King. It almost feels like an unfair matchup to put this articulate, well-spoken man against someone like Herschel Walker. It's an unfair matchup, right? There's no way that he can adequately compete against Raphael Warnock. I'm tuning into the debate later on this month simply for entertainment purposes, because I know there is no way that he's going to be able to articulately debate the points with elegance, right, with clarity. He's not going to be able to do it. So I'm tuning in just for entertainment purposes. I think Herschel Walker should do us all a favor. And when I mean us, I mean Black folks. And and I think members of his party too. I think members of his family. I think you should do them all a favor, right? and concede the race, man. Don't even continue to embarrass yourself and your family with all the scandal and just the nonsense. Concede the race. Raphael Warnock, you're our winner.
And I'm going to fight and win this seat for the great people of Georgia, because to have someone in the seat that lies to the people shouldn't be in the seat as a senator.
And maybe next year, you Republicans, you guys can have a more formidable opponent to go against Reverend Raphael Warnock. Anyway, that's all for this episode of Red and White Boo Talks with Camille Claiborne. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in.